Hello, everybody. It's cup time again, and you see here the quarter-final results. 76ers victorious against Rugby in the All Division 2 clash. Sirius winning the non-league game on penalties. Los Urracas and Stackington both winning with clean sheets. And we see the draw for today's semi-finals. Sees 76ers, who basically are the favourites for the competition, not just because they're playing Sirius, but of their league form as well. And then Los Urracas versus Stackington in an all Division 2 tie. It's the first time either of these have come up against opposition in their own divisions. And I'm joined as usual by my weekday companion on this stream, and it's CM Fortuna. It's not Champ Mega Horse. It's CM Fortuna. Good evening.
Good evening, weekday companion.
Yes, yeah, you seem to have become the regular pundit for the weekday shows, and it's great to have you on again.
I'm sorry about
that. We'll go straight into the matches, and obviously we will begin with 76ers versus Sirius. And looking into the teams, 76ers, their recent game was a 1-1 draw against Grove in the league. What did you make of their performance there?
Yeah, they played well. It was a hard-fought draw for both teams. But looking at the ratings, not one of them had a bad game, really. They've had the red card from Cannavaro, but unlucky not to win. Inspired David James' performance and Sol Campbell for Grove again.
Yeah, and the Dario Silva, but both substitute strikers getting involved. And Dario Silva, of course, that booking pretty much as soon as he walked onto the pitch. They have made a few changes for this game. Sigalko getting the start today.
Yeah, well, he's come on and he's got his goal last time, so thoroughly deserves it. Cannavaro's obviously out the team today, and Weston Okoronkwo formed that Nigerian partnership at the back. I mean, they've got to be favourites for tonight, haven't they?
Yeah, I mean, Cannavaro isn't suspended. He's just missing for being rested, I think, but he will be missing the next game in the league. So you wonder. I mean, it's not going to come back to haunt them surely up against a team such as a non-league side. But yeah, they've named a good, strong team all the same, haven't they?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing Matt Kerr in midfield. I think he might be good for a goal today. And Weston Okoronkwo, there's no chance they'll let the team down at the back.
No, we'll get straight into the action. Just seeing Sirius, their squad last time round, that draw with Bunker Flow. Yeah, I mean, they all play particularly well, but yeah, this is a different class of opposition, isn't it? So we'll get started straight on the game. The referee today, Sten Johansson. Here we go. Sirius have probably had the biggest chance so far in the game so far. And Sigalko with a chance, but nothing really coming of it so far. Eventually, a chance, and Mike Duff has made it 1-0 just under a quarter of an hour in. That will certainly settle their nerves.
Could that open the floodgates?
It looks like they're certainly pressing a lot more. Tiribo West giving a lecture, not a surprise. And we're half an hour in, still at the 1-0, still poised, but they are racking up the chances now. Marquinhos with an effort there. Rui Costa to West, and Sigalko putting in a rebound for 2-0. It looks all over. And hitting the crossbar there, Rui Costa as well.
Yeah, it's all one way, isn't it? You can't see him come back from this.
No, not at all. It's just getting more and more controlled. But Mark Kerr takes a yellow card. And we go in towards half-time with West on a yellow card as well. Very, very comfortable there as it is. Quick check of the stats. We are, well, plenty of shots for 76ers, aren't there?
Yeah, and I think the results are a fair reflection of the performances so far. 6 out of 8 on target from 76ers. Dominant performance. I suppose the only blow on the copybook is the yellow card they've picked up, but they look like they're going through to the final.
Very much so. I mean, look, we see here that most of that play, despite the fact a fifth of the game, nearly a quarter of it's been in their own third, they've been in control of it there as well. Performance-wise, they're doing fine, aren't they? I mean, Marquinhos looks a little bit tired, potentially injured, but they're doing okay.
Yeah, they're playing well. Rui Costa's on an 8, Kaladze's on an 8. But yeah, they're not having to break too much of a sweat to get in front.
I think that's the main thing about it. They don't need to do too much now, do they? We're going to stick with the 76ers stats for the second half. Sirius, we're not too bothered about what the name there. Oh, City Chai Pongutai. He's an interesting player. So I just thought I'd have a quick scan of one of their players for an interesting name. Let's kick straight on to the second half. And they are coming forward yet again. Nikiforenko stinging the fingers of the goalkeeper with a chance there. It's 4 bookings so far for the team. This will be a concern if there's anybody on a yellow card for a cup competition. We head
They've
towards
not been afraid to
60
pull it
minutes.
about.
Not at all. And there, Mike Duff with a second goal for the game. He'll be very pleased with that one.
A great performance from Duff at right back.
Yeah. Now the substitutes. There are no injury substitutes planned. We do have Riquelme for Rui Costa. And the other substitution of Mark van Bommel for Mark Kerr. So looking at how that goes, we get straight back on into the game and see if they can have an impact. But 3-0 up, all they need to do is just keep the ball.
Yeah, you can't see Sirius coming back from this.
No, even one goal looks a little bit beyond them at the moment. And Marquinhos with a chance of Sigalko getting involved again. I mean, Duff has more chance of a hat trick, I think, than a serious goal. Just calm, composed, and a red card for Sigalko. Well,
wow, that's 5 bookings for the game. They've lost the discipline, and that was completely unnecessary.
I mean, my thought is he's going to miss the final.
Well, but yeah, it's a blow. But I suppose he's come into the team today, hasn't he? So they've got other options. Yeah, disappointing.
I suppose one thing we haven't actually talked about is that the final is played over 2 legs. So as long as he doesn't receive a 2-match ban, he may come back for the second leg. Just gone for the change there of moving Riquelme further forward and Nikiforenko up front to just keep somebody up front for the last 10 minutes. With it being a lower league side, I mean, they might as well just press for another goal.
Yeah, the game's over, isn't it?
And Duff with his chance again for a hat trick, and Nikiforenko going up front gets the goal for 4-0. And they just very, very controlled. All we can say about it. They've done absolutely what they need to do and have reached the final with a comfortable victory.
Yeah, decent performance. Always in control of the game. They're a good side as we've seen throughout the league. It is just a blow that Sigalko is going to be out, and the 5 yellow cards against a team who didn't have an awful lot of the ball. So they just need to keep the discipline in the final in both legs, and hopefully they can get a trophy for the manager.
Yeah, I mean, Los Hughes certainly taken the cup competition very seriously, and maybe that route into Europe is coming from this. So yeah, Mike Duff getting on a rebound for the first goal. We didn't actually check any in the first half. The second one, I did say it was a rebound for Sigalko. It was Taribo West who had the initial effort, and then into the second half when Duff scored his second. Rui Costa's played it in, and Duff has scored a header. And the fourth goal towards the end of the game, we've got Marquinhos to Riquelme to Nikiforenko, who's just got into some space and scored. And that seems to me like the goal of the game there for them. Performance-wise for the team.
Yeah, they've done well. I mean, even Sigalko with the red cards still picked up an 8, hasn't he? Duff at right back obviously picked out a star man with 2 goals. But all throughout, there's only really Kerr who's a bit disappointing. That's probably because I said I'm looking forward to seeing him, so I'll try not to name anyone next time.
Well, feel free to name as many Los Urracas players as you like during this game because they're playing in Stackington Colliery. Last match for Los Urracas, back to winning ways, but Dan Hazard, in his post-match analysis, was pretty keen to mention that it wouldn't have quite been the same if Roger Freestone hadn't gone off so early.
No, they were fortunate with the early injury for Paulo Sousa and the early red card, and that made an uphill struggle for the opposition. But we've seen them throughout this cup competition so far. They've been excellent at dispatching the opposition, and again they've played lower league and Stackington a lower Premier League, aren't they? So I think they're the favourites for tonight.
Yes, yeah. I mean, before the game, I think, well, before certainly the last round of fixtures, we'd have certainly been on the Los Urracas as favourites for the game. They have made a few changes. They've gone to a bit more of a defensive formation than they've been playing recently.
Yeah, well, it's I suppose Stackington coming off the back of a 7-goal victory at the weekend. But yeah, they've been renowned for the tinkering, haven't they, in recent games? So we'll see if they've got anything up the sleeve later today.
Yeah, it is a strong team, isn't it? There's a lot of players being kept in from previous matches, and maybe they're looking for the route into the final rather than the league game, of course, which is against Stackington again in 3 days' time. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. They have no plans for substitutes, barring any injuries. So it's a rarity. Dan has been the Tinker Man, but today he's decided to go for a full 90 minutes where possible for the players. Up against Stackington, who have gone completely opposite after their big victory over Danglies in a very, very strange performance. Tony Warner capping off his 2 out of 10 with a red card. But other than that, they've not had the best season, of course, taking a 6-0 defeat in their previous league game. They haven't conceded a goal in the cup, but the change of team again. I mean, what do you make of the very altered lineup?
Yeah, it's a bit different to what we're used to seeing. Saeed's in yet another new position. He's on the left side of the centre backs this time rather than the right. But it's the old fellas, as they're known, Dr. Kamala and Paolo Sergio, that could make a difference in this game. Selnas as well, breaking from midfield. He's capable of scoring goals. So I like the look of the lineup. We've got 2 teams with wing backs against each other, so it'll be interesting to see how they get along.
Yeah, the difference for Stackington today, formation wise, is that Duff and Sylvester have come in, so the wide midfielders have come into wing backs for this game. So, but captain hasn't been assigned, but it is Dr. Kamalo. Whether he'll get past 60 minutes, we shall see. It's quite an attacking subs bench that's been picked for the game as well. And we go into this with Stefan Ragnarsson refereeing. And let's get it underway.
It's a thriller, isn't it, so far?
Absolutely quiet start, and Stackington came in the attack, but Urracas looked a bit more threatening in their attack, and Keames made a good save. A chance for Javan, Yavan, but I call him Yavan, after the Paolo Sergio attack there. Urracas still yet to get a foothold in the game, but they've just come really forward there and hit the frame of the goal. Duff with chances for a second team today. And Cliver with a chance and a good save as well. And Yavan took it forward at the other end to no avail. Lots of chances. Saeed's taken a warning after his red card last game. And approaching half time, will anybody make the breakthrough? Yes, it's Mario Yepes. Probably not the player we expected, but Patrick Cliver is coming off, and it will be Alan Shearer that comes on up front because of the tactics.
He makes 5, doesn't he? He makes 5 Newcastle players.
Yes, that is true as well. And Shearer was due to come on if there was an injury to a defender. So we shall see if anything happens there. But yeah, it does keep the 5 players. You're absolutely right. And we are still in the first half, aren't we, at this point? And they come forward again. Duff with a chance for Urracas at half time. Yep, as we kind of expected, Urracas just edging out the game.
Yeah, it's they've edged the performance in the first half, and I think the goals just what they fully deserve, really. As you can see by the stats there, attacking wise, there's only been one team in it.
Yeah, the shooting's definite there.
The game in the second half.
Yeah, they do need to up their game, definitely. Action areas, it's pretty even, but you look at each area of the pitch and the possession, hugely in favour of Urracas over that first half.
They've been doing really well. They're not performing brilliantly, as you can see by a lot of 7s. Yepes with his goal obviously has gone to an 8, but we've had Keem in the Stackington goal. He was on a 9 at points. I think he's down to an 8 later on, but they're not performing outfield, and Urracas are just shading it.
Yeah, there's nobody really off form for them so far, and here there's basically outfield and yet to get going. They will continue to 60 minutes and see how things go, but Dr. Kamalo is probably that man who'll make way in the substitutes here. Sylvester's somebody that they've also thought about with the big game coming up at the weekend.
Sylvester's only made 25% of his passes, but at least he's doing better than Gamara, who's barely broken a sweat for Stackington.
He's put the tackles in at least. But yeah, pass-wise, not done much at all. We've got started in the second half, but you might not have known it until the chances there. Ronaldinho taking the ball forward. Riquelme and Boya, and still not quite making it 2-0, but they've come very much on the attack there, Urracas. We've reached substitute time. I don't know why we've clicked on Urracas. They're not making any changes. Woodgate has certainly been ruling in defence there. And substitution-wise, well, Carlos Gamera is to be withdrawn, and the obvious answer there for a substitute would be to bring on Milevsky, and Sylvester is going to go into the left wing back position, and Kamalo is withdrawn as well, and it is for Didier Agat. It is just the two substitutes that are being made there, unless Selness has an injury. He does, so it will be a third substitute. And with that third substitute, then instead of Milevsky playing there, he's going to go and play in where Selness was, and Volodenkov at wing back. All three changes. If extra time comes, they are going to be tired, but they need to get back into the game first.
Yeah, let's see if they make a difference.
It has made a difference, and Ronaldinho has made it 2-0 to Urracas. So, yeah, it's looking comfortable for them. They haven't really been tested, as we can see from the ratings. Paulo Sergio coming forward. The substitutes making a bit of a difference for Stackington with some effort, but it's too little too late if they are going to come back into the game. And a comfortable win for Urracas has happened with 2-0. Wilfred Baumer taking man of the match, and yeah, it was clearly a deserved victory.
Yeah, they performed well. They stepped up the game in the second half, but from the moment the game kicked off, they were doing most of the attacking, as we can see by the stats. So, like you say, your substitution made a slight difference for Stackington, a bit more effort in the team, but just didn't really get going tonight, and that's because of the Urracas performance.
Yeah, they did absolutely everything they needed to do. Stackington clawed a little bit of possession back. We take a look at the goals that were scored. The opener, it was just a Riquelme corner and a high and hard hit from Yepes. Not even a header. He's just smashed it. And the second goal, Ronaldinho getting on the end of some great work from Baumer. So yeah, deserved Wilfred Baumer man of the match there. Looking at the team, you can see that there's not really anyone who's not performed.
No, they've all had a good game. I think the only concern for Urracas will be if Clivert's going to be out for a period of time, but as you can see, the Shearer and Sigalko in the squad as well, so they've got plenty of cover up there. Riquelme's not had his best game tonight. He got a couple of goals at the weekend, didn't he? But
yes, yeah.
Most of the rest of the team played fairly well.
That's a tremendous defensive performance from Jonathan Woodgate.
Yeah, I mean, his quality, isn't it? As you'd expect as a former Newcastle defender. I don't think they've had any bad defenders in the Premier League history. So to get a 9 is just standard par for the course.
Yeah, I do remember Steve Howie being one of my favourites growing up as a Newcastle player. It's a shame that he's not being called up to this squad. Maybe next season, you never know. Stackington, I mean, Saeed again, being probably one of the best outfield players. He performed well last time, apart from his red card.
Yeah, he's done well, and Keem goal as well. He's stepped up to the plate in the last couple of games, and he's done well with his ratings. But yeah, just the forwards and the attacking midfield players didn't get looking today.
No, certainly not. Just very, very few chances. Interestingly enough, after last game with the victory, the person who was most pleased with it and told the media was Fabian Barthez, who was ecstatic with the change of fortunes for the team. He had been dropped to the reserves before that game, and so he's been put back onto the bench again now. But Keem looks like he'll keep his place in the team. So, the semi-finals over with 2 home wins, 2 expected wins for the two sides. You wonder if they were seeded. The final will take place over 2 legs. And looking at the schedule here for the final, they are played on Wednesday the 22nd and Wednesday the 29th of May. Taking a look at where that fits into the schedule, there is no match in between, so there may be a special edition of the show. We just got to speak with the managers involved and whether anything can be done about that, but they may be a special 2-leg edition in one if we can do that. Mr. Fortuna, thank you very much for your brief time tonight.
Thank you for having me, and congratulations to both winning managers.
Absolutely, it's promising to be a good final ahead over those 2 legs, and we will see you again soon. Goodbye.